So I just got like kind of hate crimed at Heathrow on my way back to New York. Transphobia and misogyny at the airport.
Another day, another influencer caught faking a hate crime for views and attention.
Pronoun of the day is slugs.
We're gonna react to this fake hate crime on TikTok and so many other crazy videos from the Clock app, all from the perspective of a gay guy who hasn't lost his last brain cell quite yet. Up first, like I mentioned, we're going to take a look at a video from a young man named Griffin Maxwell Brooks, who identifies as non-binary and has over 1 million followers on TikTok. He just reported a hate crime to his followers that apparently happened to him while flying. Let's take a look at this video and see if we've got a real victim here or another Jussie Smollett.
So I just got like kind of hate crimed at Heathrow on my way back to New York from a little holiday in London, which is maybe an appropriate edging of like re-entering the United States right now, but let me explain.
So I'm gonna let they, them finish, but typically when somebody is the victim of a hate crime, they're not smiling into the camera like 30 seconds after. Might be a tiny red flag.
So I check in, I walk through security, all my bags are going through the scanner, I'm wearing my shoes because you get to wear your shoes now, shout out to that, and my ankles like set off the alarms, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'm wearing my big, big calf Bottega boots because I'm fierce like that at the airport. Happens sometimes, not a big deal. I walk through, the guy's like, come over here, and he's gonna pat me down, he looks at me as he goes, are you a sir or a ma'am?
Okay, so already it seems that this TSA worker was like trying to be inclusive or woke, because this is obviously a dude, it's obviously a male. So to even ask that question, clearly they're trying to be accommodating. They can tell you've got they, them energy or whatever, and so they're trying to be accommodating. But yet we're supposed to believe this is the start of a hate crime.
Now, usually when somebody asks me that question, I look them in the eyes and give them a little shoulder shimmy and go, I'm whatever you want, honey, because I'm not going to sit there and explain to you what non-binary is. And I obviously knew in that moment that that's not what I was going to say to this, like, British TSA agent. I don't know what it's called over here. And I kind of froze up, and then I was like, doesn't matter.
He probably asked you that question for a reason. So, doesn't matter is kind of an obnoxious response. Like, TSA is dumb in a lot of ways, and honestly, it's kind of security theater to a large extent, but it's not a choose your own adventure game. You don't get to like make up your own rules, and you should probably just answer questions when you're asked.
And he looks at his colleague and goes, what? Are you a sir or a madam? And I said, either way. And the colleague looks at me and goes, you need to pick one, sir or madam. And in that moment, it hadn't really registered to me that they were trying to decide whether the male or female security agent was going to like pat me down, because it was just my ankles, not my like area. I didn't think it mattered.
Oh wait, you're telling me they asked you a serious question for a real reason and you didn't take it seriously and refused to answer because of why exactly? The whole thing is ridiculous so far, but let's hear them out.
I kind of just thought they were telling me that I couldn't be non-binary for some reason.
It's the narcissism for me. Do these people really think anyone cares how they feel inside like that much? As if, yeah, I'm sure those TSA agents were who are, I'm sure, just trying to do their job and go home, were really concerned about your internal gender identity. It's like they haven't grown out of the stage as a young adult or a teenager where you think the whole world's about you. It's like that with the radical gender people. They really think they're the center of the universe and everyone else is constantly speculating about how that person must feel inside. It's actually not that deep, bro.
And I just kind of froze. And 3 seconds of silence went by before one of them said, we're gonna go with madam because you can't make up your mind.
Okay, that's kind of funny. Sorry, ladies. That's a little bit funny. But obviously, it's just silly stereotype. Not a lot of truth to that. Trust me, my boyfriend has trouble making up his mind, and he is not a lady. So, but that was probably just a joke. Probably meant for a haha. Is it really that big a deal? Something tells me they, them thinks it is.
Transphobia and misogyny at the airport. Double whammy, girl.
Bro, you have got to be kidding me. The victim Olympics are out of control with this one. Transphobia and misogyny. They tried to ask you a question to figure out who was going to pat you down, and then one of them made a joke. Get over it, Cupcake. To actually invoke these kinds of serious accusations about bigotry and hatred so lightly is just ridiculous, and unfortunately kind of discredits and downplays them to the extent that people should take them seriously. Well, y'all throw that around like candy on Halloween constantly. So frankly, you're making those words lose their power when you just get triggered by basic security protocol and an offhand joke.
Really gagged me a bit. And it's funny because on this trip here and in Germany, a lot of people making commentary like, oh, America, it's pretty scary over there right now. Scary here too, girl. No, I'm not too much better.
Europe is scary because somebody might ask you if you're a sir or a ma'am, and they might make a joke. You need to get a grip, babe. I'm sorry, but the problem at some point is you and your clear lack of emotional resilience, the level of emotional resilience that a functioning adult is supposed to have. Other than that, though, you're doing amazing.
I forgot to add that after that, they went through every single piece of luggage I owned in depth. And there was nothing bad in there, but I had also just come back from a weekend of like clubbing in Berlin, so it was a lot of like funny thongs and things that they had to like handle. That's on you. But of course, there's like a whole audience watching this go down, so like 15 people got to see that interaction, and then this poor security agent pulling like leather and lace and thigh-high boots out of my luggage. At least they had somebody to talk about on the flight home.
Now, some people in the comments on this TikTok video realized how dumb this was and how much of a mountain out of a molehill this dude was making, but some people in the comments actually were enabling the Delulu and actually encouraging him to view himself as a victim from this utterly benign and not particularly significant incident. One person wrote, "I am so sorry you were harassed like that. What the heck does someone's gender have to do with getting on an aircraft? Such a blatant display of discrimination. When the F did TSA start asking that? Is the harassment in the room with us? Did I just miss that part of the video?" And they were literally just trying to make him comfortable to make sure that he wasn't patted down by someone of a gender that would make him uncomfortable, which might not really apply to a man, but probably applies a lot more to women who might not want to be patted down by dudes. So they're not trying to discriminate against anyone. They're trying to make sure people are comfortable. And here we are attacking them for it online. Another person commented, "This is scary, and I appreciate you sharing it." Scary? Girl. Get a grip. Another person wrote, "As a Brit, I'm so frustrated that happened to you. It's not acceptable, and you do not deserve to be treated with disrespect." If you ask me, the ones who were treated with disrespect are these random TSA agents who were just trying to do their jobs and had this attention-seeking influencer play the victim and put them on blast online to millions of people potentially with his audience for no real reason. I'm just getting really sick of this constant desire to play the victim and to seek attention, and honestly, even the whole non-binary thing in general, all of it's just dragging the LGBT movement down at this point. Like, it's clearly gone way too far, and people have had enough of it, and they're getting fed up. And honestly, with people like this as the face of the movement, I can see why. Honestly, I can see why. What do you guys think? Do you actually somehow see him as a victim from this experience? Let me know in the comments.